Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'm the host of The Gift of Giving, and I'd like to welcome you all to our program today. Um, Mark Twain says, as you will note at the beginning of the program, we had a wonderful quote: kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. It describes our guest today perfectly. I'd like to welcome to the program Beth Jones. She's the Executive Director of Nevada Hands and Voices. We have Joel Eldridge. She's the lead deaf hard of hearing guide. And we have Marlene Daniel Wright sitting next to me here. She's going to be the interpreter today. So I'd like to welcome the three of you to the program. Thank you for taking time out and being with us here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome.
So Beth, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you begin by giving us a brief overview of the organization, when it was founded, and what its goals are?
Great. So Nevada Hands and Voices was founded in 2008 in Nevada. This was our state chapter. And really our mission is to be a parent-driven organization that exists to support, educate, and encourage parents to really give their children, their deaf and hard of hearing children, the ability to reach their own potential. We want to empower those parents to find the choices that work for their child, and so those kids can live up to their full potential.
Oh, good. What great goals. What a wonderful mission. What a wonderful organization. And you've been around 17 years now, so that's quite a time. Now, what made you join this organization? There's loads of wonderful organizations out here in Las Vegas and Nevada.
There are. So my personal story is I'm a mom of 3 children. And when my youngest was born, he was diagnosed as deaf or hard of hearing. And my oldest daughter, who was 4 at the time, was diagnosed on the same day as being deaf or hard of hearing.
Oh my.
So I had at that point 3 kids, 4 years old and under, and I did not have a lot of answers and resources. So as I was going through the process of what my doctors told me, I happened to meet another parent. I could see her signing to her son, and I could see her son wearing the same hearing devices that my son wore. And I thought, she is my new best friend. She is going to be my person. And she said, we just started Nevada Hands and Voices down in Las Vegas. It's been around for a few years, but we have never had a meeting in Las Vegas. There's one next week. Would you like to come? And ever since then, it was really finding parent support and support of the peers for my children that really helped us connect with the local resources, connect with the right doctors, and really for us to find the information that we needed to help us make those choices that were best for our kids.
Wow.
And that was almost 13 years ago now.
Good grief. Well, there's certainly a lot of resources now that you've got, and a lot of programs that you've got going. So we're going to be talking about those later.
Absolutely.
But Jewel, let's ask you, same question. What made you join Nevada Hands and Voices?
Well, I joined Nevada Hands and Voices because of my experience and my journey being deaf since I was 2 years old. Growing up was a challenge. So it was a challenge for me. I was feeling like I wasn't included. I felt isolated, and I noticed that a lot of other children were experiencing the same thing. And I wanted to be a model for those children. I wanted to empower them and share my experience with them and let them know that they're not alone, that we're the same. And I know that the parents, they need help also. And my duty is to make sure that they get what they need and that they're there and they have support. So my challenge really is the reason why I wanted to be a part of this, make sure they get everything that they needed.
Oh, good reasons, good motives. Okay, Joel, let me ask you this. You are the lead deaf hard of hearing guide. What does that job actually entail?
Okay, so my role is that I share stories. I make sure that, that they understand. They have someone to kind of look up to and to let them know that they're not alone and they can get through this. So I share my stories with them in my hearing loss, because it doesn't matter what level. And then I also work with other deaf and hard of hearing, and I train them too and educate them on how to work with deaf children and their parents so they feel comfortable with their children. And then I empower them to find resources and everything so they can thrive. And we get involved in a community. I encourage them, to continue on, because I know my mom was nervous with me when I was 2 years old and I was deaf. So when my mom learned that I was deaf, she was banging on stuff and trying to get my attention, or sometimes I'd have the TV blasting loud and my mom would say, she stopped yelling at her. So, so I'm thankful that my mom provided all the tools and everything that I needed when I was younger. So I just want to give back to the children to help them.
Yeah. Well, and so obviously you're a very, very important role in Nevada Hands and Voices. Clearly a very important role. So thank you for what you're doing there. Now, my understanding is that you have an office in Reno as well. So you're covering the entire state?
So we are statewide. We actually do not have offices currently. So we do all of our work virtually, or we hold our events in person with other people that we collaborate with or at different parks. But we do support families statewide, including our two biggest cities, obviously being Las Vegas and Reno. But we do have supports in Elko and all of the outlying rural areas. Right. So we will travel
to. So you've got coverage everywhere.
Everywhere.
Amazing. Wonderful. So if you're living outside of Las Vegas, folks, don't worry. You're not ignored. There's support out there. So now you've got several active programs and you've got a comprehensive resource center. So I'd like to get through as many of your programs as we possibly can. You have a parent guide and a guide by your side program. And what's the difference between the two of them and what they actually do?
So the Guide by Your Side program is actually kind of our umbrella of the parent support that we want to give in our organization. And through that, we kind of have two branches. The first one is our parent guide services. Again, this goes back to the heart of that peer-to-peer family support that is so important in dealing with a diagnosis and learning all the resources out there. So what our parent guides do is every family that signs up with us, for free, by the way, they get assigned a parent. So for instance, before I became executive director, I was a parent guide. My biggest qualification at the time was having a child that was deaf or hard of hearing. So having that personal experience and then getting additional training in that to help guide the families that we work with in unbiased ways. So my path might not be right for somebody else, but I have the resources to give that family to make that choice for themselves.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. I'd like to talk about the ASTRA program. How can the team help out on the ASTRA program?
So ASTRA stands for Advocacy, Support, and Training. And this is our educational advocacy program where we have special advocates that are trained specifically in the education of deaf and hard of hearing students to support those families. So it might be a parent, it might be a deaf adult, it might just be somebody that really wants to help kids, but we are able to provide families and students the educational benefits of what the laws are, what specific resources are needed in schools or daycares for those kids to really have the most benefit. That is a really big thing. There is a lot of legal paperwork with our kids when it comes to this. And as parents, that's not something that comes in the handbook. So we do have free support to be able to help that. And one of our deaf and hard of hearing guides is able to connect with the team as well to give that deaf and hard of hearing adult perspective, or what might have worked for them growing up in school to give options for these kids. Because a lot of professionals don't know until they know from personal experience as well.
Sure. Did you want to talk a little bit about the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program? Because that's also one of your programs.
Okay, so the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program, like we do like community events. But I'm gonna let you know, I don't provide the straight services, but I provide the resources. You know, I do know sign
Perfect.
language and I communicate with them, but my responsibility is to provide the resources, facilitate that. So, for example, when Nevada Hands of Voices, they hosted a popsicle event for the summer, all the kids came out, you know, and the parents came, and it was the first time that they were attending, and it was free, of course, to everyone. And everyone was signing and, you know, and getting to know one another. And it's so great for the kids to see that. And, you know, and so those are one of the examples that I'm a part of.
And I love that as a parent because I don't know what I don't know either. So being able to see a variety of deaf and hard of hearing adults using different modes of communication that maybe wear different devices, that maybe get each other's attention differently than I don't know, that modeling has helped me really well as my kids have grown up. So I can, again, either introduce them and the guides can teach my kids, or I have a little bit more insight into knowing what's best for my kids as well.
Perfect. On that note, we're going to take a brief sponsorship break. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back with Nevada Hands and Voices.
Tariffs, pandemics, rising inflation. The Joshua Dowden team is ready when volatility happens. Markets fluctuate for reasons nobody can control. Don't let the headlines drive your financial plan. The Joshua Dowden team at Priority Wealth Partners has served Summerlin retirees for 3 decades. Our 5-tier risk management strategy matches our strategies with your goals, with plans designed for your assets to be there when you need them. Conveniently located at the heart of downtown Summerlin. Call Joshua Dowden today or visit DowdenFinancialServices.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. And I'd like to thank our guests again. We've got Jewel and Beth and Marlene from Nevada Hands and Voices. So thank you again for being with us. I'd like to talk about a couple of your other programs that you've still got here. The Hearing Device Loaner Program. Now, how does that work?
So this is something that a lot of families do not have insurance or have issues with insurance when their children need devices, if that they choose that. A hearing aid, to get a cochlear implant is something that families might need to purchase hearing aids to prove that it's not working. So what our program does is for children birth through 3 years old that are enrolled in our early intervention program, what they're able to do is be able to have a hearing aid or a different type of device loaned to them for a long period of time in the middle of trying to work with insurance or trying to fund resources for them to purchase themselves. For instance, for myself, I had to purchase 4 hearing aids on the same day. We were lucky enough to have good insurance to be able to support some of those costs, but a lot of our families don't. And so if the families choose to amplify their children, what we want to do is give them an availability to have those resources at no cost to them, to see if it's working and to get those interventions happening as early as possible.
Well, that's nice that you're able to do that and provide it at no cost to those that can't afford it, so they're not left behind or left out of the program. That's wonderful that you can do that. Are there any specific eligibility requirements for them to get it free, or do they have to fill out forms or paperwork or anything? Or?
We do have a tab on our website that parents can go to, and there is some paperwork both from the parent and the audiologist, so the doctor that would be fitting those hearing aids for them. But we have a really wonderful collaboration with a lot of those doctors that know how to do it already. Our parent guides help guide the families through the process, and it's been a wonderful process to be able to get these families these resources they might not have if they are interested in that.
It's a wonderful program. And the other program that you have is a lending library. Who would like to talk about the lending library?
Okay, so the lending library, let's see, they have a website where you can select a book of your choice. You know, the parents want to select one that they like, or, you know, we'll refer them to a book or something. Or also I could, you know, provide or suggest a book. Let's see, would you like to add something about the lending library?
Yeah, so this is something we launched this year that we've been building for a few years with some funds that we've had left over from previous grants, with the addition of some new grants. We have over 300 books in this lending library with characters that are deaf and hard of hearing, children's books all the way up to novels by deaf and hard of hearing adults. We have educational books for parents. We have books in Spanish. We have books that really just kind of cover a lot of things that families might not know are out there. We have everything from deaf and blind pigs to teenage novels that just happen to have deaf and hard of hearing characters in them. So it's a really great way to get the kids involved and to see themselves represented in books, because we've found that, number one, those books are really hard to find, and they're not typically in the school libraries or the classroom libraries or even the local libraries.
Yes.
So we're able to provide this, again, free at cost for all of our families that are members. And just, again, use as a different resource, because literacy is one of our other passions. So we want to get more knowledge out and support families through our books.
Wonderful program. Well, seeing as you're talking about literacy and your passion for books, you have some events, some book signing, story time events that are in person, and in Southern Nevada, you have it the second Saturday of every month from 11 till 12, and you partner with the West Charleston Library. So would you like to talk a little bit about those events?
Yes, I actually go there. I attend. And I do share a story with the kids. So I will sign a story. I will have an interpreter there, but I would sign the story to the children. And then the kids, they would raise their hands and they would ask questions. And then also would ask them, what do you like about the book? Do you like the character? And they so relate to the characters in the story. It's so funny and it's just so cute. And they just really enjoy it. And I think, let's see, it's every other month. Let's see, deaf adult parents, they come also, and they come together. And the kids love that type of environment. They like to use the books, they like to draw. So, and it's only an hour session of story time, but it's really fun. I enjoy it.
That's a nice program. I thought it was every month. Did I hear you say that it was every other month?
Well, yes, it is every month. It just depends.
Okay.
But most of the time, I go whenever it's available. I go on Saturdays.
Okay. Now, I would assume that you have attendees of all different age groups. How do you find a book that covers the ages? Do you have 1 month kids between 5 and 10, and how does that work?
Well, let's see. We'll find a book where, well, we'll assume that all the kids would like. Let's see, for example, like maybe learning to sign. You know, they have a variety of, you know, hearing aids, devices, cochlear implants. They have a variety of different experiences and stuff. So we'll just try to pick one book that might suit them all, so they'll all feel included. So that's how we try to do that. Because we're trying not to leave one child out. Because, you know, we have, like Jeff said, over 300 books. So we try to feel something, select something that they can relate to. So, yeah,
Perfect.
that's what we do. We select that one book.
Got it. That makes perfect sense. And for those who are tuning in from northern Nevada, they also have a similar program, I guess, but theirs is the second Friday of every month. Theirs is from 10 to 11, and it's held at the NEIS office. And John is going to put the addresses up on the screen of both these locations so that people can attend.
And the one in Reno is specifically designed toward kids birth through 3 years old. And that's why we collaborate with the early intervention up there. We've noticed a lot of those kids are not getting as much of that early exposure as we'd like. So with partnering with the earlier intervention and the developmental specialists there, they're getting professionals, they're getting parents, and they're getting deaf adults, all of this wonderful interaction at an early age.
Oh, cool.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now the third program that you have books is it's a virtual event, and it's called Growing by the Book, and it's the third Thursday of every month. Now, how does this program work?
So this program I love so much. So it's called Growing Book by Book, because what we felt like was, as the kids were little, and again, trying to choose books to make everybody happy, they kept growing up, and we kind of had to keep expanding. And we used to have in-person events once a year that correlated with Nevada Reading Week. And then COVID hit, and we couldn't have our in-person events anymore. So we began doing virtual events so we could reach kids statewide. We realized there were kids, even after COVID restrictions were lifted, they might not be well enough to go to in-person events, but they still wanted to do the virtual. So this has morphed into every month during the school year, we have a virtual event. And this year we have all deaf and hard of hearing authors of books that come on and read their books to our kids. We have discussions around it, and we are very grateful for funding that provides 10 books of the book we are reading that we mail out to the kids that attend, as well as one prize. So it has been a really fun thing for kids and their siblings and their parents all over Nevada to join, get to have more exposure to deaf and hard of hearing role models that are illustrators or authors of their own books. We had one that was a deaf-blind audiologist that was on a couple months ago. So really seeing that there are no limits to what these kids can do. They get to have great conversations. We get to facilitate it. And then again, we continue to show them the love of literacy and the exposure to deaf and hard of hearing topics and different ways of solving things that maybe as a parent, I don't know how to do that. Or I've never heard of somebody that's deaf being an audiologist. I don't want to be able to tell my kids no when there are other people out there that have done it. So these role models are a really great example for our kids, and we love being able to do that. And we are going on, I think, our 6th year of doing these monthly virtual events now.
Wow.
Yes,
Boy.
that's right. And I would also like to add that the kids love that, you know. And then let's see, they love the gifts, and, you know, they get excited, and, you know, and they like that spin wheel. So she'll pick the kid's name for those that would win the gifts. And that's what they really love. They get excited about that all the time. I won. You know, it is just so fun to be with the kids.
Incredible programs. Please stay with us. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back after the sponsorship break.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mom.
Welcome back, everyone. And I'd like to welcome back our guests today, Jewel, Beth, and Marlene, for being with us and sharing with what they do at Nevada Hands and Voices. We've covered all the programs. One thing I noticed on your website, too, is that you have a tremendous number of resources that people can access. It looks like there are 22 state and national resources that you have there for people to use, which is valuable. Do you want to just pass a comment on them, or?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky to have wonderful collaborators throughout our state. We have really worked hard in the last few years to really come together and support each other, regardless of our personal belief systems. So I think it's been wonderful that we have such a great community that works together for the purpose of the kids.
Yeah. It sounds like a great networking system for the greater good, that you're all
Absolutely.
pulling ideas and concepts and covering different aspects. So,
Absolutely.
congratulations on that. How do you guys get funded? Do you get any support from federal, state, local governments? Do you lobby?
So we do have funding that we get through two major grants. The first is Aging and Disability Services, and we are able to provide the services for the deaf and hard of youth throughout the whole state. And then the other partnership that we have that we get funded through is the Nevada Early Hearing Detection Intervention Program. Thank you. The acronym is EHDI, EHDI. And what they do is we partner with them. So they get the information from all of the hospitals of all of the children that did not pass their newborn hearing screening. And then if they get a official diagnosis from a doctor of being deaf or hard of hearing, we contract with them and we are able to reach out as parent guides, offering our services for free, and then being able to set them up with the rest of the resources and programs that they might be interested in. So that is a huge gain to meet those national goals that is set,
Cool.
to be able to provide for families, because again, that was not around when my kids were born. And I really wish I had had somebody calling me in those early months or early weeks and offering some friendly advice.
I'm sure. Okay, now do you have any volunteer opportunities within the organization? And if you do, what are their requirements or qualifications? Jewel?
Well, speaking of qualifications for the volunteers, they have to be involved. They have to be involved in the deaf community. That's very important. They have to be active so they can learn, and then really get an opportunity to experience the deaf and hearing kids. That would be the main key for the organization, is to be active. You have to go out there and you have to work, just like we do. We're always welcoming volunteers, because we have a huge family and we welcome them all. Hard of hearing guide, parent guide, all of them. We need to have them active. And that's what's very important.
Yes. Well, I can see why. It sounds like, and that's not a difficult requirement to make, or an unusual request, put it that way. Do you have any upcoming fundraisers planned at this time?
So right now we have a lot of events for the families, but one fundraiser we will have coming up is we have had pickleball tournaments for the last 3 New Year's Eve weekends. I'm not sure if it's going to be that same weekend this year, but it will be coming up soon. It is a great event. Last year we had a kids clinic to be able to get the kids ready for this tournament. We've had instructors being able to teach them, because it's such a wonderful sport. Everybody can play regardless of your communication mode. We have a lot of our deaf adults that come out and support us. We have a lot of community members that come out and support us. And it's been a wonderful fundraiser for us, especially in Las Vegas, just to be able to support the kids and be able to put on further events for them.
Nice. We look forward to hearing more about that. And I'd certainly like to thank the three of you for coming on and talking about Nevada Hands and Voices. It's an amazing organization. You're doing incredible work there. So before we leave, would you like to give out the website information, contact information, where people can reach out to you if they need your services?
Sure. So the best place to contact us is www.nvhandsandvoices.org.
That's the best contact information. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you again, Jill, Beth, and Marlene, for being with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on our program today and learning more about your organization.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'd also like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in today. If you know of anybody who could benefit from the organization, volunteer for the organization, or donate money to the organization, please share this interview with them. And any of you that can reach out, I'm sure would be welcome by Nevada Hands and Voices. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out to me, Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. I'd love to hear from you and appreciate your feedback. I'd also like to thank John Stiles, the show's producer, for hosting this program, or allowing me to host it, I should say. And it's with WWDBTV. Thank you again, John. Appreciate it. The show won't be possible without our sponsors, Pacific Coast Capital, Priority Wealth Partners, the Firelight Barn, and my late business partner, RJ Champion. You'll hear his message at the end of this program. And also, I'd like to thank Friends of the Gift of Giving. They're the anonymous donors that help keep it on the air. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll join us again next week when we'll have another organization. In the meantime, please stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.